slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Food from all of the base. My ace boom goon, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. They should have cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move, they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The alpha and omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the sci-fi, my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a Coca-Cola. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard,
Summer drawing to a close here in the Southeast. The roof is closed at the wondrous Mercedes-Benz Stadium due to the hot temps still outside here in downtown Atlanta. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Here we go, set.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Herbert. He dumps this off to Dillon underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll look to throw now on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Now here's a throw that's complete. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second in a couple.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. He probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back to Dillon on first down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Now swing pass for Dillon. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll run here with Dillon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Dillon. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now it's Herbert. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes this one back into the end zone. The Falcon defense has a touchdown.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Pats at the line, ready to go. The last time, everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick 6. And now they've got to come right back out here, Charles, and try to pick up the pieces and get things going again.
Yeah, it certainly seems dire, doesn't it? But there is a silver lining, and it is hard to see so soon after that touchdown. But the game plan was definitely working. They were generating offense, had the ball beyond midfield, getting wins on each down against the defense. So they're moving it well. They just have to hang on to it.
Yeah, as you said, though, probably tough to remember those good things on that last drive when it ended like it did. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. After one, a 14-3 ball game. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7 from the 50. Here's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Again, it's Dillon. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. And he'll just get rid of it.
That's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage, and they get on top of you in a heartbeat.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
Now Dillon on the inside give. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Dillon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
On the double.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Here's the 2nd and 7. Forced out to his left. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, he'll hand this off. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of a first down.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is talking to his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it home.
And the ball is loose. Dillon lost it. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And he has been a workhorse for them in this game. And ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he gets this to Thornton. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw again. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons continue to pull away here in this first half. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Herbert back to the air. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, Herbert. That ball caught by Slayton. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They run again with Dillon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run once more with Dillon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On play action, they'll throw. caught left sideline. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They go play action here on first down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
A throw over the middle, taken in. Touchdown! Tyquan Thornton, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. On Herbert, his third interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. And to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting them a few yards.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. I'm looking down from our booths. You can tell this crowd wants them to go for it right now.
And believe me, he knows it. And he's weighing that through his head right now, actually trying to filter that out, because this needs to be a cold decision by him. Not influenced by the crowd, not influenced by outside factors. Does he believe in his team enough to go for it right here? I think he's going to reward the crowd and do it.
And if he doesn't get it, he'll have to go the full length of the field. We'll see. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. So they'll get the yardage on the run and get 15 more for good measure.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult to spot. You heard the sideline erupting, and the flags came out almost immediately.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And some room to work. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 65 yards. The previous play big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll set up 2nd and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons.
Tyquan Thornton.
His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year.
And the Falcons add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. They'll check this down, complete to Dillon.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. 3rd and 7 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
He's got the 1st down and more than that. Down the left sideline.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Patriots' 14-yard line.
Ready. 10 cycles. Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
But Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances and the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here, Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Herbert now. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 4th down, Herbert. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he is going to pick up a Patriots first down as they manage to convert And that'll keep the drive alive. Now a throw here to his running back. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely.
Here we go. Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just added on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now here's another interception. And the Falcons are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chance.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Pats at the line, ready to go. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They give to Dillon out of the gun. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line.
The tackle by Arnold Ebiketie. A gain of 7 brings up 2nd down at the 22-yard line.
And as this defense walks